My world is with my girls living on the dance floor. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoy the new bisexual mood lighting and also the cat wagging her tail in front of the bisexual mood lighting. Let me know in the comments.
We're all gonna have fun!
I have lived, laughed, and loved Dance Moms. Sometimes all at the same time, sometimes not so much. I was so clinically obsessed with this show as a kid. It was bad. I wanted to be on that team so bad. Mind you, zero dance experience, zero training. I used to use printer paper and tape it to the fridge and roleplay as Abby. And then, after Pyramid, the kitchen floor turned into a dance floor and I lived out my ALDC AU dreams.
Girls, your left arm is way too behind your line of center in your preparation for your leap!
I really wish I was joking. That being said, it's a lot harder to watch back the show as an adult, and it's really hard to love the show as a whole. It gave us reality TV gold, and it fed us some top tier one-liners that I still use to this day.
Mom's better have my money! Mom's better have my money!
What money? I don't have her money.
Swaggy Lee is in the house!
What are you doing?
Get off my back!
But the amount of adults that all allowed these children to get mistreated and exploited all while being nationally televised during their formative years is just plain inexcusable and very hard to watch at times. This shouldn't even have to be said, but children should not be ranked and degraded on a weekly basis by anybody, let alone their teacher, on national television. I cannot stress that part enough. Like, what the hell? Somebody stand up. Somebody do something. They should have just been there sharing their love for dance, not being used by the adults around them as pawns, scapegoats.
I don't know. The safe option versus the scapegoat.
Sacrificial lambs, or even a golden child. The Maddie of it all. This is not only detrimental to the ones being torn down week after week, but also to the Maddies. It is done at the expense of all of their self-images. The pyramid was used strategically to cause tension between the girls for drama and ratings for the show. Because that money is more important than the mental health and development of the children making you that money, right, Lifetime? Unfortunately, deeply harmful shit leads to highly rated reality television. So today we're going to be doing what should have been done from the start, in my opinion. Welcome to Pyramid Moms Edition. A little disclaimer before we begin, I think every mom has good qualities, and I think every mom made mistakes as well. And I acknowledge that we don't know the full, unedited, unbiased lore that happened. The one thing we do know for sure, though, is those producers were messy as hell. They definitely did the cast dirty from time to time. Most of the time, in my opinion. That being said, this ranking is all lighthearted and not intended to put anybody down. Each mom made Dance Moms what it was, but if anybody needed to be ranked, critiqued, or emotionally evaluated each week, I'm sorry, it was the moms.
What? Pardon me? Pardon me?
It was those damn adults in the room, not the children. The mothers, producers, and dictator dance teachers.
Ooh, that sounded really bratty!
Yes, it did.
So we're going to be working in two different stages today. The OG pyramid and the big fatty pyramid with a whole bunch of moms. Let's get into OG pyramid time. Finally. Like, can this bitch shut the hell up? I know there's a lot of discourse surrounding whether Jill and Kendall are OGs or not. In my opinion, in terms of the team, no. But in terms of the show, what the hell, sure. Like, I don't care.
I don't give a damn!
Where have all the children gone?
Obviously, the people whose opinion on that actually mattered would be the actual OGs, not me. So let me just shut my big mouth. And I know Vivi and Kathy are OGs, but today I'm going to be basing it solely on the show. And they did not get as much screen time, especially as a dance mom. She was mostly the rival, the coach. So today I am going to be using Jill and Kira in my OG pyramid just to balance it out. But I know they're not OGs. I hope you guys can forgive me. So as you can see, we're at the jillzygrace ranking company today. At the bottom of the pyramid, Melissa. What? I am so sorry, Pookie, because I actually do really like Melissa outside of the show. But on the show, she was something else. She is the mother of Maddie and Mackenzie. However, she put insane amounts of pressure on Maddie and blatantly favored her over Mackenzie.
Maddie, your solo was so good.
Thank you.
Miss Abby would be so proud, and you know what? Mrs. Miller would have loved that dance.
Oh my God.
You know, I always say that, you're my best friend, because my mom and I were best friends. Like, you're my best friend, and you always will be. I know you're not Mr. Emotional like Mackenzie is, but we'll always be best friends.
She would often tell her 2 children, 8 years old and under, mind you, to grow up or deal with it when they're dealing with stressful ass adult situations that they shouldn't be in the first place. Meanwhile, when she gets called out for lying or for something that she fully ass did, she blows up, shuts down, and storms out. So that's just a really interesting example to set.
You're gonna deal with it. Be a grown. Yeah, don't cry, Maddie. Don't cry. Maddie, stop. Don't start crying. I'm not in the mood today for any of this at all. So don't get upset about it. I don't care.
You talked about Claire. No comment? No deflection?
You talk about my daughter all the time. That's it. I did not have an affair with my boss. Yes, you did. No, I did not. Bitch.
There's a new word.
Melissa, you're busted.
She never stood up for oh my god, whore. Or as Kelly would say, maybe you're a virgin because nobody would screw you up. She never stood up for her kids, her friends, or even herself.
Melissa, you don't even sew. You have zero talent.
I don't. You go to the bank to see if they have your passport at the bank.
I'm gonna reach through the phone and choke you. Yes, of course, that's the first place I went.
I should have put pigtails in.
You should have done a lot of things, Melissa.
Not only did she not step in when Kinsey and all the other girls were constantly compared to Maddie and put down, she often agreed with Abby. And when other people called her out, she would always either lie, shut down, or pull a, "You're right, I'm so awful."
Whatever, I hurt your kids. I'm a bad person. Kill me. I'm sure you wish I would die in a car accident too.
Oh, no, Melissa.
Does it bother Kinsey, the favoritism?
I love my daughters both the same. I don't favor anybody.
I mean,
But then
she's
why
always
don't you stick up for Ken?
so
I'm
sad.
such a bad mom.
No one's saying that.
I just think you should stick up for Mackenzie. I mean,
Whatever. Good hell.
This could have been played up by production for drama, but even if it was, Melissa did an exceptional job at playing that character. She was the one that would throw all of her friends under the bus at any opportunity to just smooch on Abby's ass. I'm talking any and every given opportunity. If there wasn't an opportunity, she was sniffing one out. Like Abby in season 5, if you know what I mean. She would often go behind all of the other moms' backs just to get her daughter ahead. And no, I don't mean daughters. I genuinely just mean Maddie. Including a lot of allegations about her, I don't know, having a little Lana Del Rey moment, her family's way to the top. Allegedly, mind you, allegedly.
I will do anything to help Maddie become the star. I want Maddie to have the best chance she can to make it in this business. So as her mom, I'm going to do whatever I can do to help her. I actually went out to coffee with Seven the other day.
Did you? Oh.
Of course Melissa met with the producer Seven. It's Maddie we're talking about. She would do anything to make sure Maddie got the starring role.
You have an advantage over us.
Christy says I don't play by the rules. What rules? This is Hollywood. This is an Abby Lee dance company. I'll do whatever I want. I don't answer to her.
I don't know. That's why Maddie gets ahead.
Melissa.
I'm done.
Excuse me, don't talk to me that way. That's the first thing.
Sneaky.
Well, that's funny.
Why is that funny?
Because you know Christy sneaks all the time.
Give me a break. If you could sleep with Abby, you would. And you know it.
Oh yeah. Christy starts screaming that about I sleep with everybody to get my kids ahead, and I'm not taking crap like that, Abby. I'm done.
sorry.
That has
See,
nothing.
that just showed you
She's trash.
what she is.
Melissa, I don't appreciate you saying that who did I have to pay for Chloe to win? I heard you say it. I didn't pay anybody. I don't take judges out to lunch. I don't take producers out for coffee. I can't get a private, so I can't even pay for studio time with Abby. So she's obviously a little bitter. Everybody gets a chance to shine. And I called her out on it, and she's pissed.
Since the show's end, she's gone on multiple podcasts saying that Abby had a quote-unquote weird relationship with both of her daughters, which, no fucking shit. Not only did she allow this to happen while grinning ear to ear, she even left her kids with Abby for a period of time to go on vacation with her boyfriend, according to the show. Some of her best moments are letting Kalani live with her and taking guardianship over her so that Kalani could continue dancing. Her stage mom character in season 1, specifically the interviews in the very first episode, Melissa was so iconic she ate down.
My boyfriend knows how much I spend on dance because he signs the checks. So, I have no idea what it feels like to lose. I can't even imagine the feeling.
Also, season 6 Melissa queened out This was when she stopped giving a fuck. She started talking back to Abby. She started kind of defending her children, and she started clearing those dance moms.
Why are you leaving?
My daughters are booked for jobs. That's why I'm leaving. Okay, when your daughters get movies and jobs, you'll leave too. Okay? And not be on a competition team. Just saying.
I thought I heard you say you were too good for this, so.
I'm never too good for anything. I'm too good for you.
Season 6 was also when she confronted Abby for calling Mackenzie a smartass.
Come on. If this was your sister, we would be halfway finished with the number.
Well, she's not. Her name's Mackenzie and she's not married. So, whatever.
I just want to sit on the couch and eat chips. Hence, the couch. Could be a love
I
scene.
just thought it would be like my interview.
So the little smartass is trying to tell me that that's not the quote that she said, that we're wrong.
Abby, why'd you call Mackenzie a smartass? Why?
Because she's trying to contradict me.
No, she said I thought it was, I wanted to stay at home and eat chips because that's what I thought it was too. You don't have to call her smartass.
Well, but you didn't hear the way she said it.
Okay, but I don't think you should call her smartass.
I'll never call her anything again.
She doesn't want to mess with me right now. I know way too much. I know so much stuff.
Abby was deadass wrong in 4K on her own show, and she still wouldn't admit to it. That shit is wild to me, but to Abby, shit, that's tame. In that last clip, Melissa said that she knows so much about Abby, and Abby better watch her mouth. Well, she allegedly helped Abby smuggle money into the country. And there's also, allegedly, a clip on Dance Moms of her trying to cover up the money after Abby dumps it out of her purse in one of her season 5 episodes, if you know what I mean.
How does all that stuff fit in your bag? That's incredible.
Wait, there might be things in there that children shouldn't see.
Is there anything we can do to maybe help speed it up? Because I know time is limited.
Well, I like your earrings. What are they? Are they charcoal?
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
But if the rumors are true, that's a good friend. Like, shit. To Abby, at least. But also, if it really was just ass kissery or trying to get your daughter ahead, you would think that being complicit in a crime would maybe be where you draw the line. Because I'm not going to jail over this. How the hell are your daughters going to get opportunities with her dance teacher and her mom in jail?
You're not building the brand. You're fucking the brand up.
Some of her worst moments on the show include when she said Maddie should have beat Mackenzie instead of just being happy for her fucking... Okay, let me calm down.
She stood at my front desk and yelled the F word 17 times. That's sick.
Instead of just being happy for Mackenzie.
Do you think that Kenzie should have beat Maddie today?
I can't say. I'm not a judge.
Do you honestly think that Kenzie should have beat Maddie today?
No. I'm sorry.
Why would you say that?
Mackenzie looked like a 7-year-old on the stage, and she looked adorable and sweet. Maddie was fabulous.
Next, we have her basically telling Sari, the mini-mom, I'm sorry you have this life, but this week was supposed to be about my daughters. Mind you, to a caregiver of a child with a disability. Oh, the way I would have pulled a Kelly so fast, you don't even understand. And her son, who has the disability, was there to watch his sister perform a dance dedicated to him. I have, like, genuinely no respectful way to put this, Melissa. So I'm gonna leave it to this TikTok creator, Kennedy Renee.
And you are gonna take away from my daughter doing a dance for my severely disabled child?
True colors.
True colors. Well, it just shows the heart of a person.
Ari, you are doing a lyrical piece dedicated to your brother.
I had my son, and at 3 months exactly, he had open heart surgery. And 6 days post-op, he went into cardiac arrest. He suffered from a noxious brain injury. Now he doesn't walk, he doesn't talk.
Let's tell a beautiful story.
Your son, he's coming, right?
I know, yes.
Oh, he's coming?
The nurse is coming, my parents, everybody's excited.
You know, this is supposed to be Maddie Mackenzie's, like, great week for fun stuff and all this, and now it's not even about my kids at all. I mean, I'm sorry about your son, but this is about Maddie Mackenzie. I'm not trying to be rude because I feel terrible that you have had this life.
We still celebrated her children leaving.
Yes.
And she still, you know, minimized the situation with my son.
Hey, Melissa.
What?
I was here with...
No, I don't care. I don't care about this. You haven't been through what we've been through. Your kids will be nothing.
That showed me really who she was that moment.
So y'all can disagree, but this was one of the saddest episodes of Dance Moms and one of the hardest for me to watch. Like, I don't think I've ever rewatched this episode like more than once, but I understand what Sari is saying, and she does say that the producers or somebody told her that they're going to be talking about her son in the episode. And I do feel like it was a setup to create drama to have that solo happen the same week that Maddie and Mackenzie were leaving, which also was sad because I did not want them to go, but it does not matter to me. I feel like even if I knew that a game was being played, I still would not have acted like that. It's just the treatment that Ariana's mom, like just the lack of respect and understanding that they got this week just really set me off when I was younger. Like even as a teenager, I just knew that wasn't right. And I completely understand and empathize with Sari. I do not think she is wrong to feel the way she felt. And I don't know, but let me know what y'all think.
Then we have her snitching on Chloe for skipping practice one time. That shit was so uncalled for.
I think it's awful how these kids disrespect you too. Chloe rolls her eyes in class all the time.
I know.
What I'm upset about is that Chloe leaves class early all the time. On Monday, she went to the doctor's, and Kelly, Christy's so-called best friend, which they're not, called me and said, oh, Christy's taking Chloe out of school early today, take her to the doctor's, and then just take her to the movies.
Melissa, don't worry about these three mothers that don't know the right foot from the left. Who cares what they think?
They're just jealous of our relationship, and they gotta get over.
She knew damn well that Chloe already got picked on more than all the other girls. And she took that opportunity to jump in on that. And anytime the moms included the children in their adult arguments, it didn't sit right with me. But what pissed me off the most about Melissa on the show is she never stood on business. She never stood on what she said. She never stood on anything ever, really. She would lie to anybody and everybody's face on national television. For example, she lied to Jill's face and refused to own up to it.
Hey, what'd you think about the duet?
Not happy about that, but hey.
Wait, Melissa was the one that stood in the store and told me she wasn't thrilled about her kid doing a duet with Kendall.
I tell you that Abby told me last night that you weren't happy about doing a duet with Kendall. What? And it hurts my feelings.
Well,
I mean, I don't want to
Jill?
get all angry and scream.
I never said that.
Well, why would Abby tell me that?
She lies all the time. Never said that.
Well, tell me how the conversation
I told you.
went, that she would get that you weren't happy about.
Never said it. Jill.
Melissa just lied right to my face. She told me she was happy about the duet with Kendall, and Abby told me the exact opposite. Melissa, you're busted. You lied to me. You came right out and said, Melissa said she doesn't want to do the duet.
We were discussing the duet, and she said, I'm not too crazy about it either.
That's
that
what
was
I
her
said.
words.
I'm not too crazy about not having a solo is what I said.
Well, I think everybody in this room knows you have a selective memory.
I did not say that.
Come on, Melissa, your ex-husband told me how many times were you on the phone with me telling me this, telling me that. You'd hang up with me and call somebody else and rip all over me.
I have been so dedicated to that studio.
You are the person that is love the one you're with. If your kid's doing a duet with Chloe, you're up Christy's butt. Yay! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on, you know Melissa. If she's with me, she agrees with my opinion. If she's sitting next to Jill, she's gonna tell Jill whatever Jill wants to hear.
What Abby said about her being besties to everybody's face is so real. Like, I would rather you just be a bitch and own it and be real. I do think she definitely should have stuck up for her kids more, or comforted them a lot more and a lot sooner than she did. We also obviously don't get to see everything that went down. We know those messy ass producers love to edit and they love to villainize. So who knows, maybe it was edited out, maybe it happened off camera. I guess we'll never know. I'm not even 100% caught up on how involved Melissa was in the whole get your finger out of my face of it all. By that I mean the duet. But based on Kelly and Christy's podcast, it seems like Melissa was involved and Melissa and Abby planned the whole thing and then asked Maddie to lie about it. Christy alleges that Chloe noticed that Maddie was doing her hair differently than the group number that was about to go on, and so she said, "Are you doing a duet?" And Maddie said no. I'm not even including Maddie in this because she was a child, and so if she was lying, she was put up to it. But if Melissa didn't know, why was Maddie doing her hair for the duet? Like, it's not adding up. The part that is the most insane and bonkers to me is that Melissa is the first one to drag Maddie into the adult argument as well. The second Maddie walks in the room, mind you. Asking her to lie in the first place is already crazy, but then to have her double down on the lie in front of everyone after you already got caught is just... It's beyond. Personality-wise, Melissa is not even my least favorite. Again, I love her outside of the show. I've seen so many funny clips of her. But on the show, it was kind of hard to find moments to defend her. I'm not gonna lie. Next on the pyramid, we've got Jill.
I know crazy dance moms, and like we're here, Melissa's here, and Jill's like a whole nother level.
I think when Jill first came to our studio, she was taking meds, and I think she ran out.
Look at these two, the two queens of bribery and ass kissery.
In a shocking turn of events, Melissa and Jill announced that they went shopping and they could bought a gift for Abby, because that's what I think about when I'm shopping. What can I bring Abby?
All right, what can I help you all with?
I'm getting so much slack from everybody that, I always kiss your butt and everything, and
I need to get it.
But unlike Melissa, if Kendall wasn't exactly where Jill wanted, she would cut that shit off. She would stop kissing Abby's ass in a split second. Until, of course, she came up with a new idea of a gift to bribe Abby into a spot on the pyramid, or perhaps a solo for her little Kendall next week. Melissa was like doing Abby's dirty work, while Jill was just buying her luxury massages and benches.
Contemporary, right. So I want this not to be contemporary, the choreography.
I know you've been working really hard,
Yes.
and I want you to know that I appreciate your hard work. I have a surprise in Studio C.
Never.
Kendall actually came up with the idea. I swear to God.
I know you fucking lying. Kendall, right in the front.
Perfect. I see how presents go over well with Abby.
A little something.
We're going to put a little bench in front of the dance studio. We're going to spruce it up a little bit. I hope Abby appreciates it.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful. You know everyone's gonna hate you.
Jill, it looks like Kendall's getting a special little part in there. So you gotta be happy about that.
Then pat me on the back. Maybe I'm doing something right.
Money well spent on those gifts.
You guys always want to jump down my throat. You act like I slashed your tires or something. I've done nothing wrong. I'm trying to make things better for myself and my daughter here. That's it.
Watch your tires.
I will admit, she's funny, she's unhinged, and she brings out the worst in some of the other moms, which was great for the show. But she was unfortunately quite problematic on and allegedly off the show. She has admitted to playing up the character that she assumed producers wanted from her, but there was definitely better ways to go about that, in my opinion. Like, some of that, if you weren't directed to do that, I am a little baffled, a little worried, a little concerned. However, the producers really struck gold with Jill. She was very, very essential to the Dance Moms ecosystem. She was the first newbie to come on and straight 4v1 these vicious Dance Moms. And she almost always held it together and had a fire comeback to go along with it too.
Acting like little
If
bitchy
I came up with the idea, I would never do it.
You know
Never.
what? Get over it. It's
Black, bitchy schoolgirl.
I personally never knew what I was gonna get with her. I loved her or I hated her depending on the episode. Some of her best moments include her sticking up for Maddie against Melissa and Abby.
You are more worried about your friendships with all of these women than your own kids, and you know it.
My
the
kids-
same thing
no.
about worrying about a guy instead of your own kids. Yes.
My kids go
Going
first.
from one husband to another instead of just worrying about your kids? Please.
We have a happy household.
Well, your kid doesn't look very happy to me. Really?
Absolutely.
I think Sophia Lucia rocked her world.
Stop now. You know what? It's okay to cry, though. Because she has all this makeup on. It's not okay to cry. It's okay. Because there's no reason. She's upset. That woman just berated her mother, her father, everybody.
You know what?
You should be upset, too, and you should have put a stop to that woman saying that
It is
stuff.
what it is. I have a wonderful life.
You let her do that to you.
I'm not going to upset my
She
child.
already upset her for you.
I'm glad that somebody stepped in because Melissa will always just side with Abby and stress her kids out even more. It does make me really sad though because I feel like all of the other girls on the team knew that at least at the end of the day their moms were on their side and their moms would have their back. Except for Maddie and Mackenzie, Melissa never stood up for them. And that's not something that children don't notice. Next, we have the moment when Abby insulted a Candy Apple's dancer's ears, and Jill was the first mother to go up to her and comfort her and call her beautiful.
Abby, I can't even believe you just did that. Go get her. Go get her. Go get her right now. Abby, why would you do that to my daughter? I didn't do it to your daughter. I did it to you. My daughter was in there and saw that. Don't look me up and down, you whore. You should just get her ears pinned up. What's the big deal?
You gotta come up with something, and that's all she could come up with. Trust
When
me.
we watch you dance,
You're
we go,
beautiful,
oh.
and she knows it. Hold your head high, keep doing what you're doing, honey. You're beautiful, okay?
Next, we have Cowgirl Hat Jill. I don't know if that's controversial. I don't know if a lot of people think that's one of her poorer moments on the show.
You were hella wrong for what you did.
What are you talking about? Kendall's costume. However, she ain't down with her own costume that day. You have to give it to her. And also, she's
I'm not Becky
Becky. I don't know what you guys were expecting. This crash out really set the tone for Jill. It really locked her in for the next 5 seasons. It was one of her first ones and it was giving iconic. She's one of those people who are like being so unlikable but so hard to hate at the same time. And they knew exactly what they were doing when they kept putting Kendall on probation after that because they were waiting for Cowgirl Hat Jill to come back. They were summoning her. Next, we have when she stuck up for Jamie when Stacy and Yolanda were making fun of her with the bows.
Morning. Do you guys have bow envy?
I've been just trying to figure this out because it's just, honestly, I'm just wondering why the bow? You know, if it was like maybe like a midlife crisis.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum laid into her about her bow in her hair. That was rude. We don't make fun of Yolanda's whatever she's got going on. Kira kind of does. And Kira kind of makes fun of the other one, Stacy, in her face. She was like, but listen, we are who we are. Leave it alone.
She was usually horrible to all the new moms, and so this was like a rare Jill W when she stepped in my opinion. The clip cracks me up every time too. She ended them. They both deserved those strays, and Jill's iconic for that. Her worst moments include a lot of lack of empathy for other children. Her teammate could spontaneously combust on stage, whole stage in flames, and Jill would see it as the perfect opportunity for her to go do a solo.
But I don't think she can.
I wish Kelly would have pulled Brooke solo earlier, because then maybe Kendall would.
Next we have when she said Nia isn't a threat to anybody.
Oh, hell no!
Girl, shut the hell up. I'm serious, watch your mouth when it comes to Nia.
Listen, that's it. My daughter has one private a week. Nia has a private. Does anyone ever say that? Obviously, Nia is no threat to anybody. I don't know what else to say about that.
I'd rather watch Nia's dances than Kendall's, no shade. Next we have lots of quote-unquote casual racism. She always managed to sneak it into her beef with Kaya, and allegedly they cut out a lot of the worst things that she said. There's also an episode in season 6 where Jill and Ashley act like they're hearing about racism for the first time in their life, or like they had no idea that it didn't exist today. Meanwhile,
Leave the story up to me.
Yeah, that just makes me very nervous. Can you really convey the sensitivity of a complex issue like that without making a mockery of it?
Well, we'll see.
So who's playing which different roles?
Holly, you know I typecast.
The book and the movie was based in the South, and it was really terrible.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive subject.
Yeah, but we're playing characters, and
You know what, Jill? Until you are put in that situation, it's easy to say, we're just playing characters. There's some characters which just hits a little too close to home.
This issue isn't outdated. The issue has evolved into something right
segregation
now.
is outdated.
No, honey, it's not.
Really? You believe that?
I live in one of the most segregated cities in this country. You have a county that is probably 90% white, and you have the city that is probably 95% black.
why is that considered segregation? Are you not allowed to live in the other side?
Pretty much. Like I'm telling you, they will run you off.
I didn't think you were allowed to have segregation.
You're not
anymore.
allowed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So to
You're
say your
not
country
allowed.
is segregated,
But
is like throwing me.
you're not allowed, but just because you're not allowed doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time swallowing.
I think most people aren't racist. Let's go like this. You'll probably never worry about going to a store and having someone follow you around and ask you, do you need help? Do you need help? That means I'm selling something. But that is my life, and that's my experience. And because it is, I have to raise my kids to know that is going to be their life, and that's going to be their experience as well.
Wow. See, we would never know that. I would never think that or know that or
Because you don't have that experience.
It's all because of the color of your skin. Is that what you're saying? All, no matter where you are, who you are, what you are.
I think they're trying.
every time Jill opens her mouth in that clip, she pisses me off. Why are you immediately trying to invalidate their lived experience? Shut the fuck up, challenge. Seriously. And never forget the incident where she was fighting for her little Kendall to play Rosa Parks in the group dance over Nia, the only black girl on the team.
Don't assume anything. I have no idea who will play Rosa Parks. Really?
I don't know what Abby's thinking. I mean, clearly Nia should be the one to play Rosa Parks. Anything else would be inappropriate.
So, Abby, what's the status with Rosa Parks? Have you seen the number long enough to figure out who's going to play?
I just started the number. I didn't even get the props in the street.
Well, that's why I asked what the status is. What are you thinking about it?
You actually asked her for that part.
No, no. I said it would be a good part for Kendall because she needs to work on her acting and her face.
I really think you're like delusional
No,
now,
I didn't
Jill.
say
You think
give it
that
to
that's
Kendall.
a good part for her.
Kendall always gets overlooked. Here's an opportunity for my child to have a lead role, and it's driving them crazy. I'm the only one who gets in trouble for wanting something.
Well, because none of us do crazy stuff like you do to get
What did I do crazy?
You asked Abby if Kendall could be Rosa Parks.
For years, I thought this had to be set up by production, but a year ago, she did a reaction video with Christy, and she doubled down on it and defended it.
I know that the role of Rosa Parks hasn't been assigned to any of the dancers yet, and I really want to take this opportunity to speak with Abby and find out what she's looking for.
I don't have as much a problem with that as everybody else does. I was told, look, the part of Rosa Parks is up in the air.
I know that everyone finds it so problematic. I'm going to tell you, as someone who was in that environment, I get why you asked for it. Because they were like, if it's up for grabs, somebody has to do it. You might as well fight for it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were told.
Right.
So you're like, okay.
And no one ever wanted to be pigeonholed or stereotyped or anything. So I'm like, okay. So I guess it made sense for the little black girl not to be Rosa Parks.
It didn't make sense.
Well, I know, but that's what we were trying to get. Like, it could be anybody.
Okay,
but it
let's
wasn't.
continue.
No. And of course it should have been Nia.
Wait.
I physically cringed watching it. I seriously cannot with her. Like, what is clinically wrong with you? I'm so sorry. Christy even tried to give her an assist, it seemed, and she still ended up in a facepalm. Her beefing with Brynn era was insane. It made her very unlikable to me. Getting Brynn uninvited from the People's Choice Awards and then trying to go in her place is the craziest of crazy works. Then there's why can't Brynn have a brain? Excuse the fuck out of me.
I think Brynn should be dancing behind Kendall, not in her way. Just saying.
I think she thinks she's off to the side, honestly.
Well,
she's dancing up by the teacher. I think she just thinks she's off to the side.
Kendall's like, look, here goes Kendall. Brynn's right in front of her.
Why doesn't she just move and let Kendall like dance?
Go sit down where Kendall sat.
Is Abby and the choreographer both in there?
Yes.
If it was a problem, they would tell her, don't you think? I think so.
I think if Brynn had a brain in her head, she would know.
Do not call my child stupid.
If she had a brain in her head,
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you. That's my kid.
Bye.
I'm getting no end of hate because Brynn is in the front instead of being in the back. If they wanted her to move, you guys would tell her, am I right?
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Abby, this is Kendall's solo, not Brynn's. Am I right?
Why can't Kendall just open her own mouth and say you're in my way?
Why can't Brynn have a brain and sit in the back? But you need to learn, when the kids are learning their solos, you stay out of their way.
No, but I wasn't dancing in front of her.
Honey, don't talk back to a grown-up. Just say, okay, I'll stay out of her way. Got it?
Are you guys yelling at Brynn? No. Are you yelling at Brynn?
Go ask your kid what I said.
You can't yell at a kid like that.
That is crazy. And then directly speaking or getting on Brynn's ass after that is insane. She straight up bullied Brynn in season 6. Same with Jesselyn. Why was season 6 Jill beefing with the children and season 6 Kendall beefing with the moms? They were sick of the shit. They were doing their big ones. Overall, this was honestly a tough decision on these two, whether it should be flipped or not. Because in my personal opinion, one of them seems like a better person, but the other seemed like a better mother on the show, at least. Okay, it's getting a little too shady in here. Let's move on. To complete the bottom row of the pyramid, I'm gonna need Kira, Kalani's mom. I have very mixed feelings about her. She was fierce. She was a bad bitch. She wasn't afraid to say some shit that everybody else was sometimes.
Kira, did you tell your friend from Arizona if you need anything, you'd be glad to help her out?
She can drown in hell.
She wasn't afraid to clock your tea. She was always standing on business. I love her angry face.
How could you say things like that?
So you can go and continue to take their side over the people who have been here for 4 years for you.
I feel like she was a certified crash out queen. That being said though, I feel like a lot of her crash outs were justified. Sometimes she may have been doing too much, but that's the whole role of dance moms, and she was clocked in.
You would do it too, Forte.
She was really good at defending Kalani against the other moms, but in my opinion, when it came to her talking directly to Kalani, she went more with a grow up and deal with it type of stance, which again, could have been in editing, could have been different talks happening at home. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. Some of her best moments were confronting Jesselyn about taking Kalani's script.
Okay. Did you go in my daughter's purse?
No, this is laying on the floor.
Then why would she say that you went in my daughter's purse?
Why would I go in your daughter's purse?
I don't know, but that's Kalani's.
It was laying on the floor. It was laying on the floor. Do you not give a about it? Do you not give a about it? You just throw it on the floor. You don't care about it, Kira.
Am I the one that threw it on the floor, or did Kalani?
Probably.
Really? And I think you got it out of a purse.
Why don't you start to care? Why don't you start to care, Kara?
Jesselyn was buttfuck bonkers for that. What? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know why that just came out of me, but I'm saying it. Like, she better have been set up by production to do that, because what? Defending Kendall and Kalani against Jeanette, whole time Jill was speechless.
You just said you think your kid has her beat. How is that not slapping somebody in the face?
Well,
and you want to put spot on this team?
I'm not part of the team yet, and I will continue yet. I think she has her beat. That's my personal opinion, and I have.
Say that when your kid has a perfect performance, because your kid's performance was not good.
When I said I'm a dance, like this. Okay, enough of the dramatics. There's plenty of things that I could point out about Kehlani.
Really? About my kid? Oh, don't even start.
I said there are plenty of things that I can point out, but why?
About my kid?
About your kid.
You know what? Kalani would put your kid in a grave.
She's 13.
She would put your kid in a grave 10 years ago.
You know
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Oh, no, get out.
You gotta hand it to Kira. If you talk on her kid, she's gonna throw it down with.
Kalani went on a podcast and said that producers hated Kira because she did not give a fuck what they wanted her to do or what the hell they had going on.
I hate this place.
And production edited this clip to make it seem like she threw a water bottle at Jesselyn, but Kira confirmed on Twitter that she was actually throwing it at one of the members of production staff.
You're really not the most brightest person in the room, but you would think that. I need a drink. Walk your happy ass that way, backstring. Thank you.
Wow.
You're trying to make... I'm
to cause trauma. So walk your that way. I'm sick of her.
I feel like this woman has lost her mind.
Queen shit. Honestly, I second that. I love her for that. One of her worst moments on the show was getting clocked by Ashley in the dressing room.
Guess what? I've said 1,000 times about me being here, and they all know it.
So then why are you here? Then leave.
Because Kalani wants to be here.
Bryn wants to be here, and I have to be here, and I show up and I work hard. She gets all the benefits, and she gets to sit home. You're a manipulator, you're a user, you're a liar, and you know it. Everybody knows it.
I don't really care what you think of me. I really don't.
I don't care what you think. I'm with 3 baby daddies and a criminal record. I could care less what you think about me.
Just keep coming with them, Ashley. This is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. You're a real pathetical person.
Pathetical isn't a word. I thought you had a master's degree.
You can sit here and say all you want, Ashley. Sit there with your liposuction and your plastic surgery and your tummy tuck.
Oh my gosh!
It's nothing too harmful, but it's definitely negative aura loss on national television. And she was Ashley's biggest hater at the time. I'll admit, when I watched the show, I wasn't a big fan of Ashley either. We were both D1 haters. That being said, if Ashley tore my ass up like that, you guys would never hear from me again. And no shade, but it seems like she never recovered, because this is what she had to say about Ashley at the Dance Moms reunion last year.
I don't even know if I'm going to say anything about this because I'm not pulling that into this. There's some dance moms that I don't choose to talk about because they're not worth air.
My problem with Kira is that she was always rude about the kids. She was always comparing dancers to Kalani and saying if they've never beat Kalani, then they're not good. Her snarky comments about her kid being better than everyone else's went even further than Melissa's did. That being said, Kira was relying solely on Kalani's talent and did not care to kiss Abby's ass. So respect for that, at least. Next, we have her making fun of JoJo's speech impediment to her face. Talking about the kids that all should be a no, but doing it in front of JoJo and her whole team, and all the moms, and her teachers, and a whole production team with cameras is just awful. And it reinforced to the girls that that behavior is okay, because they then went on stage and repeated the same actions.
I get this for free, and that for free, and that for free. But seriously, so I go, I love your shoes. She goes, yeah, I can get you these for free if you want. I have connections. And I'm like, I don't care. So imagine living with a big bowl of fire that's always on. Even if you pour water on her, she will not shut up.
Jessalyn should have shut that shit down immediately. She did have some things to say about it at the season reunion.
I think being able to speak in front of people is not a bad thing.
It's the way you speak, though. I'm at the ALDC this week. Send me a package of clothes.
No, free.
For free. And oh, I got these for free, and I got these for free, and I got these for free.
Jessalyn, I'm just gonna ask, what do you think watching that?
Well, first I was wondering if Kira had a speech impediment or what was going on. That was pretty bad. That was horrible.
Justin, we have a relationship. I've known you for a very long time. So I would never say that to any other kid that couldn't take it. I know JoJo, and she has she knew. We still talk about it today.
So that
she
makes it
teases
okay to poke fun
It
at
doesn't
kids.
make it okay.
Maybe sometimes a kid needs fun poked.
What?
I think you have some deeper issues. And I don't know if this is the right forum to talk about them.
I have no issues. None.
Her body shaming Ava is always going to be a hard watch.
I think she looks like a praying mantis.
Also, her constantly beefing with Camille and telling her that Cameron will go nowhere, which, no shade, Cameron has gone much further than Kalani since the show, so I don't know what to tell you about that. That might be some bad karma you manifested on your daughter.
Watch your mouth,
Kira.
That's why your child will probably never go anywhere from here.
Don't tell my child that she's not.
When Abby's financial crimes started to get uncovered in the media, they also started digging on all of the moms' pasts, and they found Kira's criminal history, and thanks to Jessalyn being shady, we got this gold moment.
Do you have a flat screen TV I could buy from you?
I don't.
What was that article about?
I have no idea.
You didn't see it?
No.
I'll send it to you.
I think based on what this article is trying to do is trying to connect the people on this competition team with links of troubled path because of Abby's history. So that just means anyone's fair game. If you've done something, they're digging in your closet because it gets good fodder for sensational tabloid. And that is sensational.
That's bad. Exclusive. Dance Mom star Kira Gerard arrested for theft and fraud. That's bad news right there.
So what happened?
What do you mean what happened?
Was it true?
It was like in 2003, so I can't I couldn't say that I really remember exactly what went on because it was literally like 10 years ago.
And you admitted to creating the tracking numbers for the merchandise, but didn't ship the products?
When she DM'd a mom on Kathy's team and said that Kalani was better than all of her teammates and got exposed for it.
When one of your moms reaches out to Kathy and says her kid is better than everyone on her team, maybe you just want to read this. Hey, Kathy.
Yeah, I messaged her.
Couldn't be more happy to be out of the crap and out having Kalani showing her true dancing and talent versus what they call talent. And on top of that, I know where my kid's talent lies, and it's above and beyond all those kids' talent.
Well, good luck today.
My job is done.
I've never done anything like that, and you flipped out. Flipped out.
Because I hold you to a higher standard.
And my standard is still pretty darn high, and I have never done anything
I don't
like
hold her
that.
to any standard. I just like your kid's feet. That's it.
I don't hold her to any standards. I just like her kids' feet. That's it. It's insane. Abby is insane. As a kid, I really loved Kira and Kalani. And even today, I'll say Kira had a nice balance between her good moments and her bad moments. Her winning the I don't give a fuck war and her female rage. She knew when to bring that shit out for her daughter. My only issue with Kira on the show was the way she was constantly beefing with children and looking for opportunities to tear their new teammates down. Moving on to the second row, drum roll please, we've got Kelly. Brooke and Paige's mom, she also danced with Abby when she was young. So they have the longest standing beef out of all of them. There was a couple times in the show too where Abby would make remarks about Kelly's appearance or about Kelly as a teenager, where I was like, you either want to be her or you want to be on top of her on that 50-yard line, huh, Abby?
I mean, I did it on the 50-yard line.
Allegedly, in my opinion.
She's white. She has a black and gold dress on, and she has short, like a haircut that's like cool and trendy, like it's long in the front and short in the back. I'm a 50-yard line cat girl.
Oh, are you?
Yes. I have one comment to make. Did everybody see Christy shove her food onto her cracker with her finger and down it without even chewing? Woo! That's some hypo she has. Woo! That's some hypo she has. Woo! That's some hypo she has. Woo! 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 Woo!
She was the comic relief of the show for me, until of course she wasn't. Her and Christy were hilarious together. I feel like Kelly didn't go out of her way to start shit, but when shit was going down, holding her tongue was never an option. Like, I feel like she was kind of the reactionary one. But in my opinion, she was also the best at gagging Abby. Maybe that's because of their history? I don't know.
Paid the mortgage on her parents' house.
I don't really give a shit what your mother.
I'm using a hotel chair, for God's sakes.
But what
But
happened?
if this was anybody else, they'd have a hot pink chair with rhinestones all over it.
When she used that word, I almost fell off my chair.
She was never afraid to fight for her kids, though. She would always tell the kids that winning did not matter despite what Abby says and just go on stage and do your best. Her best moments include slapping Abby in the face. Hear me out, hear me out. Two things can be true at once, okay? I think this is one of her best moments as well as one of her worst moments. If somebody treated my daughter like Abby treated any of them, but especially Brooke and Paige, she would have got bitch slapped a lot sooner. That's all I'm saying. But obviously, it did cause a lot of harm for everybody involved, so we will be spinning back to this moment later. Next best moment, telling Abby to shove Brooke's crown up her ass.
I'm not gonna have my kid have a nervous breakdown because you want them to be the best.
Yeah, but your kid just won another title.
Would you like her crown back? Because you can have it.
We'll have to talk about
Because
that.
she take
If
the
she
crown
walks
and
in-
shove it up your ass. Because we don't want it.
You can go.
Thank you. I told her she could take Brooke's crown and shove it up her ass. And I really do mean that.
The thank you and the doubling down on it sends me every single time. It was also said that production tried to make them come back for more episodes after Kelly's fight with Abby. Brooke and Paige did not want to do that. So that is why Kelly filed Paige's lawsuit, so that they wouldn't have to return for any more episodes. Next, we have You Just Told Mia her mother doesn't love her. This is one of the rare moments I think it should have been addressed in front of the kids. Abby said something wrong and harmful about Nia in front of everybody, so I think it should also be corrected in front of everybody. I'm glad Kelly was there to stick up for Nia and Holly. Now moving on to Kelly's worst moments. We get some uneducated moments from a lot of the moms, but Kelly's might be on another level. We have her not knowing who Anne Frank was.
Bitch,
you better be joking.
Does anybody know anything about this Diary of Anne Frank? Because I have no clue of the story.
I can't believe that Kelly doesn't know who Anne Frank is. I mean, that's a standard part of curriculum in middle school.
You didn't have to read the diary of Anne Frank.
No, easy.
I don't really know much about Anne Frank, but what I do know is that I don't think she was doing cartwheels.
Like, you seriously cannot be for real. Then we have comparing Abby's racial stereotyping for Nia's roles to Brooke being an acrobat. I am genuinely at a loss for words for this one.
I think Nia does get typed with her numbers, but everybody does. Brooke has done an acrobatic routine since she was 6 years old. She's never been given anything else. And there's many other things Brooke could do. Like, Brooke could do a lyrical number, but Abby just doesn't give it to her because she's typed as an acro.
However, here is a very thoughtful take I found on Reddit by the user appointment number 5370. They said, I don't think Kelly went to college or was ever much of a student, and I mean no shade by this. Lots of people don't go to college and or don't thrive in academic environments, and that's totally fine. She had never heard of Anne Frank. I also think that Holly was probably her only black friend, and while I think that she, like many others, would absolutely denounce the super overt Jim Crow era type racism, probably had major blinders when it comes to microaggressions or seemingly less extreme expressions of racism. I think Kelly saw that Abby treated Nia poorly and gave her the same gimmicky dances over and over and never let her shine. And she saw how poorly Abby treated Brooke and Paige, rarely featuring them or giving them solos, belittling and bullying them, giving them the same types of gimmicky routines over and over, etc., and viewed those two things as essentially the same. I don't think she ever clocked Abby's racism or how her treatment of Nia was often racially motivated. She just thought Abby was a bitch. I agree, I think this was a very thoughtful take. Definitely a lot more generous than I was at first when I had rediscovered that clip, because I was baffled. Kelly has since gone on her podcast though and admitted that she was wrong for this. I also saw a lot of people saying they didn't like how she would body shame Abby in front of the kids.
I've been here all day making costumes for you while you were down the road eating. Stop eating. That's why you're fat. Look in the mirror, girlfriend. Look in the mirror.
Please.
Don't eat me, Abby. Don't eat me. 500-pound hog pretending to eat me.
But Abby literally body shamed the kids and their moms. So I don't know, low-key deserved. Because as the kid in the abusive situation, you don't have the power to say some shit like that. But that doesn't mean you're not thinking it. Like, you're telling me when Abby was degrading their bodies, they didn't want to throw one stray Abby's way. I don't believe you. I do fully understand the harm though. That's why it is on her worst moments list still. Because it reinforces the idea that fat and food are bad. In an environment where disordered eating and body image issues are already running rampant. Next moment is you already know who your real friends are. Sneak dissing Maddie in front of her is crazy, in front of everyone.
And other people are allowed to.
I know, Chloe. I know.
Or Chloe. Just, you know who your friends are. All I'm gonna say. Okay.
Well, we know it's
Nice
important.
for Maddie's girlfriend.
You are perfect.
That shit is not cool. I understand having that conversation with your daughter behind closed doors, but it really just felt like blaming Maddie for her mother's actions, which they hate when Abby does. Because again, even if Maddie was lying, she was put up to it by Abby and Melissa. There's no way that was Maddie's idea, and there's no scenario where it's right to blame Maddie or Kalani for that shit. Which brings us back around to the boss battle. This is a very nuanced situation. And in my messy ass opinion, the only thing she should have done differently is remove the kids from the room sooner so they could really go at it.
I just want your mother to quit speaking for you. You're 15 years old. Grow the hell up.
You know what? You shut the hell up.
See how she talks to me?
Abby, if you're not happy with my kid because she doesn't sit here and smart mouth you and say something back, we will leave.
That's fine.
Kelly, why? I'm
you know
just
what?
asking.
Don't even
I'm
speak
just
to me.
asking.
Don't even speak to me.
Oh, why can't I speak to you?
Because I don't want to speak to you.
We're coming into this all new. And so I just want to know what we're getting into.
A bully for a teacher. Here's your costumes. Enjoy the dance.
No,
Did you just sit here and say that my daughter looks miserable, so maybe we should put Kalani in her place?
No, I never said
yes,
that.
you most certainly
no,
did.
No, I didn't, dingbat. Listen, I said, Brooke, is your mother
Get
speaking
your
for
finger
you? Do you
out
want to
of
be
my face. Girls, out the room. Yeah, you would eat me.
Out the room.
Get away from me.
Out the room. Girls, out of the room. Right there. Girls, out of the room. All of you, out of the room.
I think a lot of people are at fault here. Kelly made first contact, but Abby was the aggressor, and production allegedly also asked Kira to repeatedly provoke her and start a fight as well. And that's without even mentioning the Melissa of it all. And again, they had a lifetime of lore. This wasn't just about Melissa or the duet or this week's sabotage from Abby. This was genuinely a lifetime and a half of pent up bitch slap. And this is where the generational beef stands once and for all. At the Dance Moms reunion last year, the Highlands expressed that they would rekindle their relationship with Abby if she would just apologize. Which, I'm sorry, top number one thing you will never see a narcissist do. Oop, just got diagnosed, Abby. Abby responded to this by saying she would only speak to Brooke because Paige and Kelly were involved in the lawsuit and Paige was, quote, old enough to know better. Yes, because the 13-year-old knew enough about filing a lawsuit and went out of her way to file that lawsuit. She definitely wasn't being directed by the adults around her. Are you stupid? Do not piss me off. Moving on. Second is not first to lose. Abigail Lee Miller. I don't want to hear it. We have Christy. She was hilarious. She was the funniest one in my opinion. She was so quick-witted. She was my personal favorite personality-wise.
This poor guy is just doing his job, and all of a sudden he sees this black cloud coming at him. Jill's throwing shoes, and she's cursing, and all I'm thinking is, you are so hard to take seriously wearing that hat.
Come on, come see your mama.
She'll bark when she sees her. I bark when I see Abby, too. The group dance this week is called On the Verge. I'm on the verge of needing a drink. You don't need it in my attorney's name.
She's messy. She's a bad bitch. She stands up for her daughter, and she's not afraid to be a bitch about it. And when she did, she would actually own it and stand on that shit. Unlike most of these other moms who would just lie their way out of any given situation. I deeply respect that. I love bitches who love being bitches. Be proud.
Abby would rather go on a diet than say that Chloe deserved to be at the top of the pyramid. There's an elephant in the room, and for once, it's not Abby.
Keep going straight!
Bus driver! I mean, the guy wants to kill himself. Kathy wrapped that icy cold bony little hand around me. It was like the Grim Reaper was holding onto my wrist. Ugh. Melissa talks a lot of smack when Kathy's not around, but when Kathy's around, Melissa's all like, oh, Kathy, I love your dress. I think Kathy should get a special judge's award for inventing new ways for Vivi to be a human prop in every dance. She's sitting over there crying hysterically. I thought you were supposed to save those tears for your pillow, Ab.
And a lot of times her bitchiness was justified. She also successfully clocked Abby constantly. She always gave pep talks to all the girls and tried to encourage them, especially when Abby was horrible that week. She comforted her daughter more than anyone else, in my opinion. Her daughter was also treated the worst by Abby, so that might be why. However, she did have her moments beefing with children on the show and also some racist comments. So for those reasons, I could not put her on top of the pyramid. I also do not want it to seem like I'm excusing the racism because her ranking is so high. But so far we have racist, and ableist. I do not condone any of that. I want to make that clear. I'm just trying to work with what is in front of me. Her best moments include her giving Kenzie a pep talk when she was performing Maddie's famous cry solo. She had been compared to Maddie to an even higher extent than usual all week. Christy comforts her and she doesn't need to be or beat Maddie.
Go out there and you beat Mackenzie. You don't need to be Maddie. Right. Like you beat Mackenzie. Mackenzie's just as good. And it's better because you're on your own special side. Okay. Don't you cry.
What baffles me is there's really not any moments of Melissa sharing the same sentiment. Next, we have her throwing it down with Leslie. I don't care, I love her for this.
Sorry, I'm a real dance mom, and I will stand here.
Why are you yelling at us?
I'm not. I'm talking to my friend.
Then you're yelling at her. You had too much to drink. You better
whatever.
settle it down. Bitch!
Stop! Bitch! Stop!
Hi, I'm a mother who's trying to protect her daughter. What are you?
Look at you! Look what you're doing!
Okay, you know what? I am calling the police because she hit me.
You better go up!
Oh, I'm calling the police, baby.
You better go up!
Because you hit me.
I'm just warning
you.
you.
I'm calling the cops. Calm the cops, Leslie.
You're gonna pull me off of you. You're acting like a out here.
Yes, I'd like to report an assault in Jackson Square. Another adult struck me and I'd like to report an assault. Can I have a cop here, please?
The kids weren't around and someone had to do it. This was iconic. And that clip of her talking about it on the Zoom call just made it even funnier for me.
Let's be clear. I went and tried to have Leslie arrested and the cop said, did you start it? And I said, yes. And he said, I'd have to arrest you first. And I said, never mind. And we left.
Next, we have Christy sticking up for Maddie and how the favoritism affects her.
Where's she going? I don't know where she's going. But because of the vultures in this room, that
No,
poor
Abby.
kid has to go like
No,
this.
Abby. And you know what? You know who creates the vultures? It's you. Because you try to turn all of these kids against their friend, and that little girl's mortified all the time, but you don't care. How about being a role model? I have heard you say to her, to that little 9-year-old girl, no one would be happy for you. Everyone's jealous of you.
Oh,
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Years
You
ago.
have sabotaged my daughter and the rest of the kids.
She's a little snake.
How dare you call my daughter a sneak?
Snake.
She's not a sneak.
Snake.
You're a sneak
Nope.
and a snake. You do these things to these kids.
She is talented.
Yes,
and
she is.
should
Nobody's
relish
denying it.
Because in 5 years, she might not be talented anymore. Look at Brooke.
Brooke Stray was so out of pocket too. It is crazy to me that Christy called this out more than Melissa. It shouldn't have happened in front of all the kids, and it should have been approached with Maddie in a different and more encouraging light. But I think her heart was in the right place, and to my knowledge, she's the only one that acknowledges this or defends Maddie in this way. Next we have Chloe is not second. You better not say that again. Jill, baby. If Chloe is second place on average, I'm sorry, but that would make Kendall 7th on a good day. Please watch your mouth when it comes to Chloe because I'm trying to be respectful, okay? I also think Christy held it together amazingly in her last episode. I genuinely skipped this part when I'm rewatching. This is the worst scene in the show, and I don't know why it was edited to make Abby look better.
It was poor Cameron, but with Kendall, when she cries, it's Kendall's wrong. Why is that? We're jealous of Kendall. We're not jealous of anyone.
And your kid doesn't have the technique. She does.
No, you know what, Abby? That's on you. You're her technique teacher, and go ahead, say awful things about my daughter. Those 5 kids in there put your fat name on the map.
No.
You were no one before these kids.
Why do you say that?
Because you think putting a couple kids over Abby makes you someone? And guess who made your household name? Them. Take a hike. She has more class in her little finger at 13 than you have in that big fat body at 45.
Holly, it's finished. Your kid's washed up.
How dare you? Do you know anything about that kid? No! Oh, guys, you did great. You did great. You alright? What? You heard. As a mom, I can't sit by and watch this woman destroy my child anymore. She can't steal her passion. She can't steal her self-confidence. My line's been crossed. Dance isn't worth it.
Christy's face and Chloe saying she heard it all breaks my heart every time. You could tell she was so angry and so done, but I think she did a good job holding herself together for her daughter. And also for knowing when to walk away, because I would have chased Abby down that hallway and gave her Kelly 2.0. Next, we have Christy dragging Yolanda. This is another one of those moments that somehow show up in both their best moments and their worst moments for me. It started out so strong.
You want your daughter to be Chloe so bad.
No, my daughter can dance, and she can dance well.
Okay, Choker, did 30 million kids vote for your kid for Teen Choice? My daughter did 3 movies in the last year. She wrote a book. She won Teen Choice. You choked people because that's classy.
I didn't choke her. I didn't
Yeah, you
choke
did.
her.
You choked your BFF.
Nothing happened. Witnesses saw it. That's exactly what happened.
And for worst moments, we have the end of that Yolanda clip.
A lot of defensive nature.
Get away from me. Go away. Get away from me. Go away. Get the away from me.
Talent prevails. Talent prevails.
You're so sorry you said that? Really? Talent prevails. This switch.
Yeah, it does. You won.
And you know what?
You won. You won, Christy. Talent will prevail.
You have no fans, bitch.
Somewhere along the line it went off the rails, and now you've let Yolanda successfully rage bait you into putting hands on her. No one was really winning that by the end. She had lots of moments yelling in front of the kids in fights that should not have happened in front of them. Or when Christy and Kelly were fighting and she yelled at Paige and made her cry. That was crazy and so unnecessary. There's no way that was scripted.
No, I know, because I kiss everyone's ass to get my kid head. No, I don't. You do. You, Kelly. You. That was not my fight. And you know what? If everyone's jealous, too bad. Tell your mother I said too bad.
What? What's wrong? What's the problem? What happened? What did she say?
Paige,
What did she say? Ignore. What?
If your mom's jealous of an 11-year-old, just stop this.
Why would I be jealous of
She
an
said that you
11-year-old?
and Abby should be best friends because you're all jealous. Because like screaming in his face. She screamed at all of us. You can tell your mom. If she was telling your mother, I don't care.
It's okay, honey. You know, it's not about you. It's not. It's not you. It's nothing personal. That really says a lot about a person.
Even Maddie was shook just witnessing it. Next we have how many times has my daughter beat your daughter this year in front of Maddie?
Abby, I think we need to talk.
No, you're not going to ruin this day.
No, we need to talk, Abby, in the hallway now.
Are you kidding? I'm a paying client and you won't speak to me.
No, nothing's worth that much money.
I'm excited for you because she got the best. We don't want to ruin the weighted victory.
I'm not ruining today.
No, Abby, we need to go in the hallway. Doing this in front of my daughter, Chris. Abby, we can all go in the hallway because I tried to talk to you and I tried to talk to you personally. Let's go in the hallway. I'm not going anywhere.
Just one.
My daughter's happy. Let's go in the hallway. Do you want to talk about all the things that need to be talked about?
Not here,
because
not now. This is
you
the
won't
weekend.
talk about it and you won't talk about it.
I will never talk to you again.
Abby, I'm not talking about it because my daughter cries, so shut up.
Talk about what?
How many times has my daughter beat your daughter this year? My weight was stacked against everybody this weekend because you did it.
Get out of here now.
Let's go.
Bitch.
Let's go. Your kids feel bad, but it doesn't matter that my daughter feels bad.
Your daughter is holding a national title and I will take it away in a minute.
Go ahead and take it away, Abby.
Again, there's no defending this, no matter how true what she's saying may be. Just tell Melissa to catch you outside next time. Next, we have her calling Kendall out for not calling Chloe after they left the team. I think what she was saying was probably true, but it shouldn't have happened in front of the kids, let alone arguing with Kendall directly.
Who's a studio hopper now? Just saying, Chloe, because your mom beat the crap out of me over that.
Wait, except Chloe danced at one studio for 12 years and left because no one had my back.
Who's this lady in the red jacket?
My daughter danced with Abby since she was 2, and unfortunately when I left, not everyone was all that supportive.
Got it. We knew you had to leave. You had to leave.
Why did I have to leave,
Because
Jill?
you could not control Abby. You had to leave. We all stuck up for you.
No, you never did.
She had to.
Jill, you did not.
How do you know? You weren't there the last 3 years when we've been traveling around the world.
No, but I've seen you, and I've seen the things that you've said on social media about my
Show
daughter.
me what I said on social media. I don't go on social media. I'm not this here. She doesn't go on social. She never said anything.
She lied.
About what?
She lied that she sat there and called her all summer. Not one of those girls called her except for Nia.
Kendall.
Yeah,
How many times? Yes, she did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, she. Are you calling my kid a liar, Christy? Well, then you're a liar.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I am not.
Yes, you
Chloe
are.
had
Chloe
major
knows.
surgery.
Chloe knows. When Kendall texted her.
Did she call you before your surgery?
Yes, she did. And guess what? So did I.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
You're a liar. And you know it.
All right, yeah. See, this is why she had to leave. That's it right there. You want to make my kid cry? Do you feel good? Do you feel good about yourself?
You know what? My kid cried at home.
Christy, it's about the kid.
My kid cried at home for 3 years
My
because
kid
of your
tried to call
daughter.
her. She wanted no part of it.
She didn't
because
call
of
her.
you, Christy.
She
You
didn't
blocked all the phone calls.
No, I did
remember?
not.
Yes, you
I
did.
blocked you, Jill, not
She does later reveal to Jill that it hurt extra knowing that her final fight started with her defending Kendall, but when the target moved on to Chloe, no one came to their defense. And lastly, we have her always airing out Melissa's business. She was wrong for that, but I'm not gonna lie, it was funny as hell. If I was on a reality show with my frenemy, I'd probably do much worse.
So basically, your choice as a mother is dance trumps all. Just to be clear, sneaky.
Well, that's funny. Why is that funny? Because you know Christy sneaks all the time. You said it.
I'm saying
that's the reason to do it. Oh,
What
okay.
do you sneak about?
What do you mean? You talk to everybody.
Give me a break. If you could sleep with Abby, you would, and you know
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's how you tend to get ahead in life, Melissa.
Oh, yeah. I sleep with everybody.
You do, boss.
I've never slept with my boss.
Yes, you did. You married him.
Yes, I married
Yeah,
Brent
after you
after.
slept with him and had an affair.
I
He
did
had a
not.
wife. And you had access.
Guess what? I didn't sleep with him. Don't start with me again.
You
Christy.
did.
You know what?
I know. Storm out. We love
I
it.
am storming out because this is not being brought up
Really?
through you. I did not
know.
sleep with my boss.
You're
You know what? You want to
quite
find those
innocent.
days? What's wrong?
She can go from slut-shaming Melissa to virgin-shaming Abby in an instant. Get you a diva that can do both. Just kidding. Maybe. And at the top of the pyramid, we have Dr. Holly. She's Nia's mom, and she earned this top spot on the pyramid. She was the perfect combination of likable personality and also protective over the children. Nia and Holly have since spoken about how Holly would remain calm in these situations because she knew if she acted the same way that these other mothers did, it would be portrayed in a completely different light solely based on her being a black woman. Which is very true. Kaya speaks out about the same thing happening to her. However, there was no way it was easy for her to hold back. And when she did snap, she snapped all the way off, and she ate most times. I also think she deserves credit for seemingly being the only adult that cared about the protection and well-being of the children, and being the one to get them away from escalating situations with adults time after time. She also clocked the other mothers very well.
I'm entitled to my. Why are you entitled, Holly, and not me?
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's fine.
And I even let you back in my studio today.
There's no reason why you wouldn't.
There's 100 reasons why I wouldn't.
None of them would be valid or good.
Oftentimes it was so clear that she was the smartest person in the room, but she remained respectful about it 99% of the time.
I bet your neck hurts. Yeah, because your brain is so big.
Where are these children immigrating from?
We don't know. They're trying to cross the border. It's not about where they're coming from and where they're going. It's about the voyage home.
I'm listening to Abby's definition of immigration, and I'm confused.
How on earth can you immigrate home?
Nia was also treated the worst of the group alongside Chloe, but she had the added layer of the constant racism and microaggressions.
I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and I cannot take this anymore. Not only do I deserve better, that little girl deserves better.
Something you can never take away.
Then fix this hair, because it's horrible.
Part of her ethnicity.
Well, it's weighing her down. It's weighing her down.
Nia has so much to offer. She has great potential. And yet Abby only sees one aspect of Nia.
Now, Kalani, you were a little more African than Nia.
I gotcha.
You're on your own, babe. Good luck.
Abby, but it's Nia's turn. Every child got a critique from Abby except for Nia.
Holly has since stated that the reason she didn't pull Nia out of the environment sooner is that she wanted to teach her daughter that no one can push her out of any room, and she decides when it's time for her to leave. I think that is respectable, but also obviously children don't have the same set of problem-solving skills and hindsight as adults. Her best moments, obviously, we have girls out of the room,
Get your finger out of my face! Girls, out the room!
Yeah, you
Girls,
ain't
out the
even
room! Out the room!
Get away from me!
Out the room! Girls, out of the room! Right now! Girls, out of the room! All of you, out of the room! Now, out of the room! Maddie, you too! All of you, out of the room! No! All
She's crazy.
No, I'm not crazy! You're eating my face!
Gotta get out of the room. Gotta get out of the room. No, absolutely not. Let's call the police right now.
She was already trying to defuse the argument before it even got physical. And when she saw it getting more heated, her first instinct was to get the children out of the room, to protect them so they wouldn't have to see it. The girls didn't exactly listen, but if I were them, I would want a front row seat to that show too. Unless maybe I was Brooke or Paige, but who knows, it could have been healing for them at the same time. But Holly tried her darndest, and she was right, the girls shouldn't have had to see that. And when she heard that Abby was calling the cops, she went back in there and made sure Kelly got out of there. She's the GOAT. I don't care what y'all say.
You need to leave now. We'll get the rest of your stuff. You need to leave now. Trust me. Now, I'm gonna get your girl.
She also gets the girls out of the room immediately whenever Abby calls Chloe a sneak, and you can see that Nia follows in Holly's example, which shows that how the moms carry themselves in these situations do affect the children. I'm Disengaging is one of my favorite clips of all time.
Dating everybody? Nia? Yeah. No, she was. Never noticed. I think you were wrong about that. I don't think so.
She danced like she had two left legs. I knew she was a lefty.
I'm not engaging.
Why'd you say something to begin with?
I'm disengaging.
Come paddle me is insane. I don't know how Holly kept her composure.
Put your game face on.
Come paddle me. Let's just get it over with quicker.
Please, that's a visual I do not want to see. I'll give you my tongue lashing. Shame on you.
She is so funny. The music video crash out in season 5 was such a valid crash out. They were so horrible to Nia over that damn music video. She really needed Christy and Kelly here. After they left, it was just the fend for yourself moms. This shit really pissed me off. Is it really that hard to be happy for Nia and Kendall at the same time? Next, we have Holly clocking Abby's unfair treatment, and Abby was too stunned to speak.
I'm not gonna play that game. I'm not playing the game. I'm not playing either.
But I also know that my child ran off the stage. I didn't see any tears from you, Abby, when my kid ran off the stage. Okay? So point noted. It's a horrific. I know you don't care. That's not any child being on stage and forgetting no dance is humiliating.
And it's happened to all of us.
It's happened to everyone.
But she even said pressures. She said she didn't care
for a reason.
And she didn't want any excuses. She could care less.
Yeah, but there was not a tear shed for another child in this company. That's my issue. These are children. And you cry for whatever reason for one child and not the other. They all hurt the same.
And the kids know.
It was so obvious and transparent. I've tried to deny that for many years and give Abby excuses. Because I think that's just the way she teaches. That's just the way she is. But today it was like black and white. No, it's not. It's not the way she teaches for all. There's a double standard. It's a different system. It is not equal.
It's awards.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm ready to go.
Then we have Holly comforting Mackenzie and telling Melissa to go away.
Just do right here. Those are cool shoes.
Make a fool of myself.
You're not gonna make a fool of yourself.
Because Gia's gonna yell at me, so I don't want to make it a big deal. Everyone's just...
I know, it's fine. She needs to grow up.
Kenzie? It's just me. Okay. Wait, just 1 second, Melissa. Just 1 second.
I just learned my dance in an hour. I guess
that's why the beautiful because tomorrow's my competition.
10 out of 10 no notes. Based on Melissa's initial reaction, Holly did the right thing. Next, we have her calling out Melissa's hypocrisy when it comes to taking away from group rehearsal time.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second, sorry. I just need to borrow you for 1 second.
Oh my God, Nia needs to be in there. This is ridiculous. I mean, they could have done this phone call prior to rehearsal.
Hello?
Hi, little mama. It's Aubrey.
Hi.
1 day of rehearsal. This is it. Just saying. It's not good for the kids. The kids need to all be in there. If it was Maddie, I wouldn't have pulled her out of rehearsal.
Melissa was pretty upset that Nia was not learning the dance with the girls.
Oh my God, I love the lies right in front of me.
She said it's not fair that she's doing this during group time.
Yeah, you. I didn't.
How are you?
Do you have a moment to talk?
Sure. Maddie, we're going to do an interview with Entertainment Tonight.
Is this different than Nia taking time out?
No, it's the same.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
She clocks them with so much grace. I aspire to be like her. Next, we have Holly winning Fierce Costume after Abby ripped her costume to shreds.
I threw together a costume with very little guidance from Abby.
Yeah, we need to take that off and see what else we have.
I just tried to do my best, considering I was told figure it out on my own.
You have shorts cutting your legs, making your thighs horizontal. You have a waistband cutting your waist, making it horizontal. You want to draw your eyes up to your face.
Holly, that looks really good.
Thank you for appreciating it. Abby did not.
Holly,
That's
do
it.
what you want.
No, I'm taking it off.
No, leave it on. If Holly wants to send her kid out on stage looking like that, be my guest.
Judges award for Fierce Costume. Lots of costumes stood out to me today, but what I loved about this costume was the way the dancer worked it with such confidence. Congratulations, number 25. David, who made your costume?
Well, my mom made my costume.
Take that, Abby.
We have I'm Not Your New Kelly or Christy.
This woman stand here and lie about what she said. I refuse to be in a room with this woman who's lying. Good. My integrity is worth more. You're a shallow, nasty one. I'm not leaving the team. So if that's what you want, I'm not your new Christy, and I'm not your new Kelly, and Nia is not Brooke, Paige, or Chloe. Okay? So you get your act together and you stop telling lies. You are a liar. An absolute liar. And you sit there and all of you women stand here because you're cowards.
I wasn't
You're
there.
cowards. You know it's never lie. And you let this woman stand here and lie.
And we have the empty chair incident.
Gave your kid a solo.
Then there's no one out there. We're gonna get the empty chair. Empty chair. Do it going.
And finally, this clip of her comforting Mackenzie versus Melissa's response to Mackenzie was so crazy to me.
You go in there and you show her what you're capable of.
It's ridiculous.
Okay?
Mom, I'm a kid. I'm allowed to do this.
On to Holly's worst moments. This was the hardest category to come up with. We have when she got upset at Cameron being on top of the pyramid, and she said she was giving Uncle Tom in the group dance. All the moms expected Nia to be on top of the pyramid because she was in the winning duet and she was the lead of the group dance, which I fully understand. But that comment was so uncalled for, and it was made in front of the whole team. Also, it was Cameron's first time on top of the pyramid, and I'm sure it didn't feel too nice after that.
On the top of the pyramid, finally. Oh, wait. From Cameron. Cameron, you want to do X?
I would like to intro. I don't know why Nia is on that spot in the pyramid. Yeah. I absolutely do not. You are the one who gave that ultimatum to Nia that if she did not deliver when it was on her shoulders, if they lost.
I want to win this week. Nia, that pressure was on your shoulders.
So they won, and yet she doesn't get to.
She got the glory? She got the glory right there on stage.
And recognition of pulling out a win.
Cameron also wanted to do it. How things work here, whenever Maddie would be the lead of the group dance, she would be at the top of the team.
Absolutely.
Why isn't she at the top? When everybody here expected her to be at the top of the pyramid.
Because I thought that when Cameron left the stage, she stole a little bit of that thunder with her acting.
I took offense to that because that was looking like Uncle Tom.
I don't know who Uncle Tom is.
At the beginning, she was pretty unproblematic and she always said she didn't stand for bullying, but towards the later seasons, she watched and even partook in the bullying of Brynn and Yolanda. Kaya also called her out in a season reunion for not being welcoming to her and Nakaya. Also, once again, for the final time, these are solely based on how they appeared on the show. I fully acknowledge that they were scripted moments, they were playing characters at times, and they had bad edits. If I was basing it solely off of personality or them outside the show, this pyramid would look a little different. I'll leave it at that. Moving on, we've got the 500-pound hog pyramid.
Hey, me, step back. Body.
Don't hate on me too much now. This video took a lot of deliberation and consideration, and a lot of switching. So let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these in the comments, and let me know who your favorite dance mom was. I think now's the part where I choreograph a group number with the most insane unhinged plotline you've ever heard of. So, see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
Spoiler!